The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. Tonight in Phoenix, Knicks begin their 5-game road trip in style. A wire-to-wire victory. Another excellent game from OG Anunoby. Jalen Brunson, 36 points, 10 assists. Karl-Anthony Towns, 34 points, 10 rebounds. Knicks took a double-digit lead in the first quarter, and it was a double-digit lead from then on. And the Knicks win at 138-122. Great to have you with us, everyone, from our Delta Embassy Studios. Bill Pidto, along with Hahn and Wally Szczerbiak. We talked about the offensive masterpiece that the Knicks provided on Monday, Wally, against the Wizards. This one was even better than what they did against the Wizards when they scored 134. They get the 138 points tonight.
Road mode kicked in big time. That's what it's all about. Josh Hart alluded to it. We got to go into opposing teams' buildings. You're going to be playing against the fans. It's just everyone in your locker room figure out a way to come away with wins. And Jalen Brunson set an incredible tone at the beginning of this game. First quarter, 43 points, just an outstanding performance as a unit to get off to a good start. And give Phoenix credit. They fought. They made some shots to make it close. But, boy, the Knicks 1-2 punch with Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. Pretty good. It's as good as it gets in the NBA.
Well, 272 points in 2 games now for this team. 138 tonight, 134 on Monday night. It's the first time since 1988 this team has scored over 130 points in back-to-back games. So this offense is clicking. Another 30 assist performance as well. First time they've gone 3 straight games with 30 assists since 1994-95 season. So there's a lot of history with this offense for this team. Now, I'm sure Tom Thibodeau is going to talk a little bit about defense in this game as well. They gave up 122, but when your offense is cooking like this offense is, Jalen Brunson gives you 23 in the first half, Karl-Anthony Towns gives you 23 in the second half, and the two of them combined to make sure that whatever Phoenix was doing from three-point range wasn't going to affect the end result, which is now another win. And the Knicks now starting to stack the wins that they need to do right now.
And like the win against Washington, guys, on Monday, the Knicks got out of the gates in explosive fashion. 44 first quarter points, best quarter they've had the entire year, and their first half, 76 points, tied for the best half they've had all year, Wally.
44 points is a lot of points in a quarter. It's incredible. I remember back in the day, that's a good half when you score 44 points. Look at the defense, the activity, and these steals and deflections leading to a lot of easy transition buckets. The Knicks just really came in ready to play, set the tone for this road trip. The first game came out lights out. Jalen Brunson really likes shooting in the footprint center.
Oh, yeah.
He's 16 for his last 20, Brunson, from 3 in this building. 16 for 20.
There's some buildings where you like those nets and you like those rims, Bill Pidto.
It's the lighting, all right?
It's all about the lighting.
It is about the lighting.
It's about the lightings. There's the bench getting into it. Cameron Payne in his old stomping ground, putting up points, making plays. OG Anunoby drilling threes. Another really balanced attack. This team is loaded.
Look at those numbers.
Look at
another over
efficiency.
50%.
Guys, and we talked, Alan, before we came on, that's the 8th game now. This is the 8th game the Knicks have had at least 30 assists. Last year, for the entire season, they had at least 30 assists 10 times. They've already done it 8 times in 15 games.
This is a different offense, as we've seen, obviously, right? If the ball moves, it doesn't stick. People move. There's not a lot of standing around. There's not a ton of ISO anymore in this game. And they start out games like this now, which, again, Wally, it shows you that over the last week and a half, something's starting to click. But the one thing that you have noticed starting games is a different attitude that they've had. And it's after that Pacers loss in Indiana that you heard a lot of the play. They were mad about that game. And you heard them talk about how we can't be like this. We've got to step it up. They have since that game.
Yeah, they have a good core. That starting unit is as good as they get, and they're getting contributions off the bench. They got smoked in high pick and roll in that Pacers game. And since then, Tom Thibodeau's made some adjustments. He's figured out that teams are not just going to be able to do whatever they want running that play against us. And the defense has picked up a little bit. Obviously gave up 122 points, but when you score 138, it doesn't matter.
So last December at Phoenix, Brunson went for 50, Allen. 9 of 9 in that game from 3. Tonight, Same building, 36 points, 7 of 11 from 3. And I said it a moment ago, worth repeating. In his last 2 games in this building, Brunson is 16 for 20 from downtown.
Yeah, it must be something about the lighting, the rims, whatever it is in Phoenix. He loves it there because he started out the game the way he ended the game in Phoenix last year. But you know what you like about this is obviously the aggressiveness. First and foremost, why were they guarding him one-on-one? This is right. When he sees one-on-ones now, it's almost like he feels open, right? Like that, like he's seeing guys sitting in front of him. And let's not forget, while he opened up the first quarter with a huge quarter, he didn't miss a shot, he had 11 points. He also had 6 assists. So this wasn't a high-scoring Brunson game where he's not passing the ball. He also had another double-digit assist performance.
3rd in a row.
So for him, he was a playmaker. He was the system in this offense and the reason why, and the catalyst, Wally, of why the engine got cooking early.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal start. We've alluded to these first couple games of the year. I think he's kind of setting the table for his teammates first. Now he's starting to get aggressive and kick things into gear. And those are some eye-popping numbers. 50-9, 36-10. Just overall domination when he gets in that nice, dry heat of that Phoenix weather. It's impressive basketball that he's been playing. This Knicks team is really kicking into gear, and they're fun to watch, man. Offense is, I mean, it's just a high skill level. People say that the NBA doesn't play any defense. No, I disagree with that. When a guy like Karl Anthony Towns can flick his wrist and shoot 60% basically from the three-point line on a season, there's no defense that can stop that. And the Knicks right now with their personnel, they are so skilled at every position that you can't guard pick and roll because are you going to double Brunson, leave someone open? No, everyone else can shoot on that starting lineup. There's no holes in this starting lineup's offensive abilities.
And the part of the thing, too, you have to point out is that the Knicks were ready to blow this game open in the 3rd quarter, up 23. Royce O'Neal just went crazy for 3. And we're seeing this in the league where there's always, like, that three-point shot is the great equalizer. Teams can make it. They can turn games around. 20-point leads 20 years ago used to be, okay, unlace the sneakers, send the bench in, this game's over. That's not the case anymore. 20-point leads today is what a 10-point lead was years ago. And so they can get a run, get back in and make it 13, make it feel like a lot more uncomfortably close than it should be. They got it down to 11, I believe.
And then in 2 seconds, the Knicks were back up by 20.
And what did they do? They came out of a timeout, they hit 3 threes, and they were right back up. So the three-point shot is so different in today's game compared to what we were all used to for many years that you can't look at a 20-point lead and think they should be winning this game, run away. No, the game is never over because of the three-point shot.
No lead is safe.
No lead is safe.
All right. When we come back, we'll have the guys at the Wally Wall and Tom Thibodeau's Knicks on a season-best 4-game winning streak and a season-high 3 games over 500 at 9-6.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Game 2 of the Knicks 5-game road trip Saturday at Utah. Note the start time. Pre-game at 4:30, game at 5. Knicks blow out the Suns tonight. More now from the Wally Wall with Alan and Wally, guys.
Thank you, Bill. You know, it's funny. In the pregame show, we talked about, right, the ball finds energy, right? And we were showing you how, with a lot of movement, you can get good ball movement, get assists, get good shots. Josh Hart, well, he's the guy that has so much energy on this team. We're going to show you a couple of plays where his ability to just move it out the ball leads to open looks.
Constant motion. He's been outstanding, shooting a high percentage from 3 the last couple games. Here he's setting a little screen. Jalen Brunson rejects it, and Jalen's going to come around here, get the ball over to Mikal Bridges. Keep an eye on Josh Hart, though. He does not stand stagnant. He moves over to the open spot where the defenders can't find him. This is really good ball movement. The defense collapses. Watch this cut from OG Anunoby. He takes a little cut, which draws the defense down. That's what you do when you cut to the basket. You bring defenders with you, kick it out to Josh Hart. Wide open 3. Notice 11 on the shot clock.
Way too early.
Way too early for Josh Hart. See, he's got to start taking shots like this. These are high percentage shots. don't make it difficult with 5 seconds and under the shot clock. Those are the toughest shots to make. That was a nice little rhythm three that he just absolutely nailed.
Yeah, usually for him it comes with 4 seconds or less. He's got the hot potato and he's got to make the shot. But there, a little more time with that 11 seconds, but good movement. And we're going to show it again, this time once again. As people move, a space opens, and instead of playing in traffic, he goes to the open spot and helps out Jalen Brunson.
This is exactly what Tom Thibodeau is training his guys to do when Jalen Brunson gets double teamed. Here's the screen on the outside. Now freeze it there. Double team, try to get the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hands. So what does Josh Hart do? He picks up the space right here in the middle of the floor where it's wide open so he can be the outlet man for Jalen Brunson. You want to get to the nail or the free throw line. The middle of the court is a dangerous area. Here he comes. He's going to go right into that middle. It's wide open. Once you catch the ball there, you can pass to OG Anunoby in the corner if you want, or he can make his little spin move with Grayson Allen, a little bit of a mismatch, who's a little behind where he's supposed to be guarding Josh Hart. Nice little spin move, make a play. That's kind of the Draymond Green area. He does a lot of his work when Steph Curry gets double teamed. He catches the ball in that area. He's a great decision maker. He can throw lobs. He can dish it out to three-point shooters, and he can also take it himself and get that easy too.
Josh Hart, 19 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. Just about everything.
Fantasy gold.
Yeah, absolutely true. Just about everything that you need done, he gets done. The Knicks get it done tonight in Phoenix. They get the win. Let's get the thoughts from head coach Tom Thibodeau now, presented by Chase.
I think, the guys are starting to get used to playing off each other. They each game you can see they're seeing things. They're reading the game extremely well. I think they're creating good spacing. They're cutting extremely well. And what that's doing is it's opening up the floor, and we're playing into space, and everyone's unselfish. So 30 assists, I think that's huge. And then, whatever, if we're being blitzed, everyone getting to the right spots at the right time, making the extra pass. I thought, we caused some turnovers and we got into the open floor, and I think those easy baskets helped us as well. And so, I thought the activity of OG again and Josh was, off the charts. Their steals and getting us into the open floor, big time. And then, I thought Jalen's aggressiveness to start the game was big for us as well. And then Cat, and then Cam came in, gave us great minutes off the bench, and Mikal was all over the place. And so, we had a lot of guys step up and play well. I thought Tyler gave us good minutes also. Jericho, his activity, big. Everyone just doing their job, rebounding good. And they spread you out. They're going to shoot a lot of threes, and, you got to fly around. And when you have a guy like Booker, it requires everyone making a second, third, fourth effort, and I thought we did that.
You mentioned his activity, but when you see Josh, just all the things he does on the floor, just kind of, I guess, how do you even describe how many different things he does for you?
Yeah, he's like a Swiss Army knife. There's so many different things that he does. He can initiate offense. He moves well without the ball. He plays fast. He can play in transition. He's worked extremely hard on his shooting. I think he feels good about his shot. He put a lot of time into it. So I think that's positive for us. But I think having the ability to, initiate is huge for our team. And then, the defense, the toughness, the hustle plays are, I think, the big thing. He's just got a knack for coming up with the ball. Those extra effort plays, gives your team a lot of energy, and we need that. And you can say the same thing about OG. OG's all over the place and so disruptive, but those are energy plays for the team.
Do you kind of close your eyes sometimes when he's doing that pinballing length of the court?
Josh, somehow he keeps it. So it's like. He has a good feel for the game, but it could be choppy at times. But I know at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot more good plays than there are bad, and that's what you want. And You know, he's going to get you extra possessions because of the all-out hustle, and you know, that's what winning's about.
How do you feel you guys played out of rotation? You made reference to it earlier when you doubled Devin and just kind of flying off the ball. Felt like there was a stretch where the Suns got really good shots out of that.
Yeah, you know, and that's what. Anytime you put two on the ball, that's what you're living with. You know, obviously, it means there's an advantage somewhere, and then you have to get out of your rotations, and you got to get to the shooters. There's probably some things we could have done better, like who we were stunning to and who we were rotating to, and that'll come. But and then getting out of the blitz, they're effective playing out of the pocket. We knew that going into the game. So, you know, you have to do, you know, more than one thing, and you got to read the ball extremely well. And so I thought getting the lead, I thought, you know, they made a couple runs, but we withstood that, and we answered every one of their runs, and I think that's important.
And then what do you need to see from Hahn just for him to buy you a few minutes here and there?
Yeah,
last games you played him.
Yeah, and again, it's probably more situational right now, and so I like Hahn a lot. We need him, and you know, it was the way this game was unfolding, and I knew that, you know, with Booker out there were certain things that we were trying to, you know, match up with what they were doing, and then, you know, their rotation changed a little bit as well.
Next up for the Knicks on the road trip at Utah Saturday. Pre-game at 4:30. Note the start time, 5 o'clock right here on MSG. Back now from the corner three, presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. Karl Anthony Towns, guys, 34 points. Wally Allen. Last year he had 5 games, the whole year, in 62 games with at least 30 points. Wally's already got 6 30-point games as a Knick, and he's played in 14 games. 6 30-point games already.
That's what I'm talking about. He is the perfect fit for this New York Knicks team. Exactly what they needed at the 5 spot as a center. Offensively, he is so talented, and you put good players around him, he makes them better, they make him better. These numbers are just video game-like. It's incredible how high percentage he shoots. Every single night, he's so far above 50%, shattering the 50, 40, 90 benchmark that most shooters strive for. He is just off to an incredible start with his new team, and it is not easy to do, guys. Going to a new team with new coaches, new system, new offense, new defensive schemes, everything. But it has not affected his play offensively at all.
No, his efficiency is what is really off the charts. And you're trying to figure out, like, he's going one-on-one with a lot of centers. Like, you're not seeing a ton of doubles coming his way because defenses are just so focused on Jalen Brunson. And so by the time the ball finds him, he's either open on the perimeter or he's in a one-on-one on the post.
Yep.
And so for him, that's exactly what he wants. And he's eating right now because it's really just one-on-one situations, and he's been dominating them.
All right, guys, so Towns with 34, Brunson with 36. Here's Brunson now after the game.
Do you have favorite arenas to shoot in? Is this one of them?
To shoot in? I don't know. I have favorite arenas to go to. I don't know. I have favorite arenas to shoot in. I have favorite arenas to go to.
This is one of them?
Honestly, not my favorite. I'm not really a West Coast guy, Western side of the country guy, but it's a good arena. Nice place.
And back-to-back first quarters where you guys scored 40-plus points, how much does that set the tone offensively for you guys?
I mean, yeah, it sets the tone great, and especially when the ball's moving and we're getting easy baskets and we're running. And but especially defense, we're going to continue to be better on that side of the ball, and it's going to help our offense be a lot better as well.
What does Josh mean to you guys with his energy, and how much does he boost the team with what he does out there?
It means a lot. I mean, what he does is obviously he fills the stat sheet, but with his energy, the way he approaches the games and the games only, is he's a true professional when it comes to playing the game of basketball.
All right, Wally, so he's 16 out of 20 in his last 2 games from 3 in that arena, but not his favorite place. I wonder what do you think he likes? He can't do much better than that.
Well, number one's got to be the Garden.
Right.
That was always my favorite arena to play in. That's just, there's nothing like it. Other good ones, I'm trying to remember. Chicago was too big.
You love
Miami.
Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota's a great shooting.
Love that. It's tight, small.
And we kept the floor slippery because it was so cold. So teams would be coming in there, they'd be wiping their shoes.
Well, how did you
like,
avoid from slipping? How did you guys?
We knew how to handle it. because we had like the slip stuff and we were always ready for it, and we knew it was going to be a little slick and dusty and
can we just say
cold and dry.
Maybe it's not the arena. Maybe it's the player. He's pretty good.
That's true.
All right, we will take a look at what's ahead for the Knicks. We talked about the big game for Cat, his dad on the road trip. Father had to be really proud of his son. He's playing great basketball, that is for sure. Stay with us, everyone. Okay, so 4 games left on this road trip. Saturday at Utah, then it's at Denver on Monday, night before Thanksgiving at Dallas. Noon after Thanksgiving, an NBA Cup game, the third of the Knicks 4 in the Emirates NBA Cup, and they're 2-0. That will be an NBA Cup game at Charlotte on Friday. Welcome back, everyone. We began the night, Wally. You were talking about the Knicks need to be in road mode. They were in road mode tonight. They're at Utah Saturday, and the Jazz are 3-11 as we sit here right now.
Got to keep this going. It's important to bank these wins. Knicks got off to a little bit of a slow start to start the season. Got to take advantage of the games you should win. The Knicks are doing what they should. Took advantage. No Beal, no Durant. Got to get this Utah one because you got a couple tough ones the rest of this trip.
You also get 2 days off now, right? Before you have to play another game. So you're out west. Weather's a little bit nicer right now, and you have the opportunity to get rest, get some guys back. Precious Achiuwa will start practicing. That could really be a help if they can get him back at some point before this trip's over with. So things starting to come together for this team. And that's why, like Wally said, you got to keep the momentum going. This is one of the best offenses in the NBA.
Also of note, Mitchell Robinson is with the team, not running, but Allen's starting to do some work on the court.
Yeah, and that's important. Having him around the team's important, right? You want to keep him part of the group and being around everything that they're doing, preparation, all those things, while they are still taking it slow with his rehab. But can you imagine if they add him and his defensive ability and rim protection to this team at some point in the middle part of the season? It can only get better. So this team right now looking good with possible additions coming in the next couple of weeks.
Well, a lot of times you see on these road trips a back-to-back situation. These are spaced out in the Knicks' favor.
Wacky. Like, you got 2 days off. You're spending a day off in Phoenix. Carl Anthony Towns said he's going to play golf tomorrow.
Yeah. Are you going to hop on a plane and play with him or what?
Love to. In Phoenix. Take him down.
He won't need your heated vest in Phoenix.
No. That's true.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Next up, we've talked about it at Utah Saturday. Pregame 4:30, game at 5. You can also stream on MSG Plus now in the Gotham Sports app.